Hello, I'm Kulwant Kaur Rehal, and today I am going to discuss the topic Reality is the Shadow of Ideas. But before I start with the topic today, I would like to tell you that we have an essay course where we provide one-to-one feedback and personalized guidance. The details of joining the course are given in the description box. Right? So coming back to the topic, reality is the shadow of ideas. Now look at that. One is, do ideas create shadows? Isn't it said that physical object will create a shadow? Do ideas create shadow? Now this could very well be your opening sentence for the essay. So either you start an essay with the key words, what is reality, what is ideas, what are shadows. These are the three words. Or you can think of a way where you can make it interesting. After all, it has to generate interest. It is a piece of writing, right? It is how you write it. That is what matters. And how your thoughts flow. That is what is going to be seen here. So reality is the shadow of ideas. Now this is a quote by Plato. And if you do not know it is of Plato, then one of the greatest philosophers must have written this. Who else other than Plato? Most probably Plato, or whatever you want to say. So this is how you can write. Now, as I said, keyword of generate curiosity. Secondly, so first paragraph, besides that, you must tell the examiner that you understood the topic. You can either agree with it or disagree with it. Or in parts, say whatever your feeling about the topic is. That is fine. But you need to tell the examiner, convey to the examiner that you understood and you are going to give your perspective. And there should be something that he wants to read it. Because your essay should be one that stands out. Only then you will get higher marks than the others. Right? Now, for me, I have taken it up in this way. Now, I will provide input to you according to what I understand of the essay. And it is for you to pick up and build up according to your perspective. Because an essay should be your own. Otherwise, you will not be able to write it. An essay should be from the heart. And only then you get good marks. Because then it has conviction. And when you are convinced and you have conviction, it will get across to the examiner, which will come in form of marks to you. Okay? So for me, there were different perspectives when I read this essay. I found very interesting, so I thought I will discuss and talk about this topic. Now, what are the different perspectives? So I like to be a little naughty and fun-loving also. For example, first I thought, and I said, current reality. Now, current reality is what? Current reality is what? We have augmented reality, virtual reality. It's called real and it is not even real. Is it real? No, it is not real. And it is very much going to stay. It is real. That is the real thing that's going to exist. We've forgotten how to write letters and other things, right? Why? Because this has come into existence and nobody can escape it. And is it real? They say it is real, virtual reality. Now, how can you argue there? But is it real? Now, this is interesting writing. First of all, you start right at the beginning. Like I always say, there are three ways. You can start anywhere. You can start at the beginning. Where, like, if it is a movie, like when the children will grow up and all, something like that. Right from the beginning. Or the ending when it goes into flashback. Or in the middle. Like in Chennai Express, it starts at the interval. So this is one of the favorite things I say. But you are going to start at the ending, or right at the beginning. What for you is the beginning is where you are now. So I would always say that is the best place where you can start. Because you are going to give the most important exams. So it should be current and real. And that appeals more. And this is more easy. And it doesn't tax anybody's mind. We are talking about the current reality. Right? So current reality, IT field, They say it is real, and is it real? So you could almost come up with a question mark there. And question marks make very interesting writing also, because it keeps the reader involved. That is what I feel. Of course, anybody can differ with that and have a different opinion. Now, what does the pragmatic person say? Pragmatic person says, what can be verified, that is real. What can be touched is real. Otherwise, it's not real. There should be existence to something. Only then it is real. That is their viewpoint. So what is constructed, what is built, what exists, that is real. So only those objects, according to them, will have, that is the reality, and those objects will, however, have a shadow. If we take up this aspect, reality is the shadow of ideas. But then, so the pragmatic will say how ideas can have reality, there could be a question mark also. But still, if we talk about psychological, for example, they say that they would like to play with, when I looked up and thought of talking about this aspect, I was more impressed with the word shadows. Why? Because they say shadows is something shady, where you want to hide things. So according to psychology, when you're hiding things, where you don't want the world to know, so that person lives in shadows. The person who, is either you want to, see, all our thoughts are not very good. The 60,000 thoughts, which is said that we have 60,000 thoughts every day, all these thoughts are not really very helpful, and helpful what? They are self-destructive most of the time, and all wasteful thoughts. Either we are criticizing ourselves or criticizing the other, or justifying ourselves or passing judgment. So that those are the type of thoughts. So those thoughts are not going to help us. But some thoughts, will make us, push us into action. For example, if it is there's a fanatic who feels that he has been wronged and he must take revenge. So he feels that is his reality. He believes he is born for that. So that is his reality. Nobody else will understand that. Others all will make him wrong. But for him, that is the reality. So that way, the person who wants to take revenge, who feels wronged, fanatics, all these people, that is their reality. So for them, those ideas make them real. That is their personality. Even psychopaths, for example, for them that is the reality. Right? Now the poetic people, if you think of it, poetry is all ideas. Out of ideas they have created reality, and people believe that, sing that, and live their ideas. So just all ideas, and what a shade, not only a shade, they've made an entire path, a shadowy path where people can walk on, all through so many songs, so many lyrics, and they were all first conceived as ideas. So that is one thing. So their reality is from ideas. In fact, there was one topic where the romantic man and the scientific man, one of the essay topics. And it is how you first conceive and then you can achieve. But coming to conceiving and achieving, we have even, if I talk about psychological, even all the motivational gurus, they say what can be conceived can be achieved. What can be conceived can be achieved. So first you have to conceive in your mind, I can do it. And what is it? In fact, all the inventors, management gurus, all the inventors, all the scientists, first they imagined something and then they made it real. They worked on it. Okay, I'm sure this can happen. And then they made it. So Swami Vivekananda's quote is also there. Take up an idea Make that idea your life. Think and live it. And that is the way to success. You can think, you can do it, you do it and continue to do it. If you make mistakes, leave that way, start again. And of course, Thomas Edison's making the bulb is everybody knows it and everybody says the same thing. But something similar, you can give different examples, or even if you give that, don't have to go into detail. Just like the example of how the bulb was formed, if you give that much, the examiner knows what you're referring to. It is very boring if you put the entire story there. So this is what we can say. So once you can conceive an idea, you can do it. That aspect. So ideas will create reality. Once you have conceived an idea and you work through it, you conceive. Now every time you keep writing, it's a good, what should I say? A good way to remember or keep on track is to repeat the topic in your head every paragraph and write it in your own words in different ways, and if possible to use synonyms if possible. So first in your rough sheet you might as well, what are the synonyms of reality, material things or inventions or a better way of living, whatever you want to write, that should happen, because ultimately even if Plato says it is about you have to have ideas of a better lifestyle, better living, better brotherhood, better nation. So coming to better nation, for example, they conceived the idea of e-governance, where everybody can contribute suggestions. There's a website now where you can contribute suggestions. And how many of us actually do that, contribute our suggestions. But the idea is there and it has been given birth. It is in operation, and that is what we all need to do, and we can do, and we can make democracy in the real, in the real way it is supposed to be meant. People for the government, by the people, of the people. Right? So these things are there which you can bring up in different ways. So poetic we said, and how we can make it into, we can bring it. Now as far as education is concerned, 21st century skills have been stressed upon. The entire NEP talks about learning by doing, and 21st century skills which are critical thinking, creativity, collaboration and communication. Right? Creativity and critical thinking are what? They are ideas, generating ideas. Think, if there was another way of doing it, what could it be? You will get more ideas. If you ask questions, empowering questions, you will get answers to them. If you ask different questions, you will get answers to them. And when you get answers, you can act on them, or you can validate them, whether it is right or wrong. Sometimes you might get good answers, sometimes you will not get. You can brainstorm, whatever, and collaborate. When you get together and do it, you understand better. You grow. Many minds are better than one mind. So these are the things, and this is being stressed to remove the aspect of rote learning to the path where we will be learning meaningfully and actually carving the way for researchers and inventors. For a better India, definitely. Now, having talked about this, let me bring a twist. Spiritual. What do the spiritual leaders say? The spiritual leaders say, all this is surreal. It is an unreal world. Nothing is real. They talk about this is only more Maya. Whatever you can see is not real. They say whatever has taken birth and will die is not real. Most of the religion, the crux is that life is just, it's a journey, and you have to go with the flow and do whatever you can do to create a better world. But the purpose is one, Atma, Paramatma, that is what they say. So that is one idea and one aspect. You can mention it if you are comfortable. You cannot mention it. You don't have to mention it because I have mentioned it here. Right? After all, I am almost double your age. So there would be different perspectives at my age. So this is one aspect. And you can choose what the content is going to be. You might not have any of these points. You might come up with different. Because with my idea, something else will spark up. Right? And that is the purpose. The purpose is just to provide a platter with more ideas so that you can add on. And at the same time, whatever you do with it. Right? I've enjoyed bringing it to you because I enjoy writing and I enjoy coming up, and it sharpens my mind when I keep thinking about these ideas. And all the best for your writing essays. And if you join the course, let me tell you again, you can always look at the description box. I will be there with you. God bless you. Take care.